guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. And of course, my boy, Jackpot Joey. Anyway, do me a favor. If you found the show, hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. You guys are awesome. I'm up to 1,875 subscribers. I am trying to get to 2,000. I am trying to give away some of this Jackpot Joey beer, but I need your help. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. We have 5 days. September 11th. I said, I will try to get 2,000 subscribers. I get 2,000 subscribers. I will give away a 6-pack of this Jackpot Joey beer. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors about sports with Strawberry Ice. I would appreciate it. All right, guys. Now, exclusively in the YouTube chat crew, we're doing super chats. So if you got a question that you're dying for Josh from Back Row Bengals to answer about the Bengals or the very disappointing, frustrating loss from the University of Cincinnati Bearcats this weekend, give us a super chat. I greatly appreciate it. And as always, I'm coming to you live from the Ice Cave. And the Ice Cave is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out our website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. All right, guys, what's up to everybody in the chat? Stranger, what's going on? Brad, what's up? Haas, what's up? Kenny, Hooday. Let's get ready to put on Pitt. Absolutely. Richard, what is going on? Simplify, the Iceman with the Australian accent. I don't have an Australian accent. That was more of like an Irish one, or I don't know what that was. That was horrendous, but I'm sure you can do a lot better job than I could do. Anyway, appreciate you guys are all on the show. We are 5 days away. 5 days away, people. I cannot freaking wait. The Bengals are going to take on that city over there, as Bengal Jim calls them, from Virginia. The freaking Pittsburgh Squealers, the Bearcats should have, and I quote, should have won Saturday. So we get our frustrations out about the Bearcats. We can express our enthusiasm about the Bengals game. Let's get it started. We got Josh from Back Row Bengals. What is up, my boy?
Jeff, there's just no better time than in the year than right now. The Bearcats are finally in full swing, even though it was a very disappointing loss. The Bengals are going to come out. We're going to just unleash all of our frustrations in the city of Cincinnati, from the Reds, from the Bearcats, from FC Cincinnati. We're going to pile it on into the most hated team in all of sports, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm so happy to be breaking down this game, especially with you, Jeff. It's so great to be back. It has been quite a long time coming, but I'm excited to be back on live on the show, and just so happy to be back in the chilly Ice Cave with you, my guy. So happy to see you, brother.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers, brother. I don't have mine out. I got to drive here after this, so we're going to be keeping it nice and sober tonight. I know it's weird, right? But Back Row Bengals doesn't have a drink in his hand when he's doing this.
Crip, what's the way you've been at?
I have just recently taken a new full-time job as a special education teacher. So getting all prepared and set up for that has been a lot harder than I thought. It's taken a lot of time out of my day. So that's where I've been at, but I've been just dying to get back. So now we are finally back. And Jeff, what better way to kick off the year than kicking the shit out of the Steelers?
Hell yeah.
What better way?
I can't wait. I mean, now I'll put it this way. I do think, I've said this before, and I'm not trying to give the Squealers any credit, but I do think they're better than they were last year. I think their defense is still pretty good. I think they're going to have better quarterback play. I still think we're going to beat them. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. I still think we're going to beat them, but it might be a little closer than it was last year.
You think
because we dropped 40 on them twice.
Yeah, right. And you don't expect, I mean, it's like I said, as much as we hate them, to their credit, you don't expect a Mike Tomlin-led team to allow another team in their division to be doing that 2 years in a row. However, we also have never seen the Bengals put up 40 on the Steelers back-to-back in 2 seasons ever. So, I mean, it's going to be very interesting. The Steelers coming out immediately saying Mitchell Trubisky is number one wasn't as surprising, but what was really surprising was to see that Kenny Pickett was number 3, which I really thought that Kenny Pickett had a great camp and that they were really digging the Kenny Pickett hype train, but apparently not. So apparently there is still something going on there. And also on top of that, if I'm the Steelers, do you really want to be starting your new rookie quarterback against this just deadly defense. I mean, my goodness, how exciting does this defense look? This new rookie, Dax Hill, alongside with Jesse Bates in the backfield, with Von Bell rotating in and out. Got Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard rotating in and out. Joseph Osai, another guy that we talk about all the time. He's finally coming back. And then also one guy that got injured last year that I think kind of flew under the radar, Akeem Davis-Gaither, who I think is really going to be set up to have an absolutely stellar year this year. I think we're going to see Akeem Davis-Gaither really come out of his shell.
I hope so. Now, one thing about Trubisky is he also got named team captain, which was that was surprising to me too as well.
That is really strange. I didn't see that. So yeah. I mean, that shows me one of two things. That shows me, number one, they're pretty heavy into Trubisky. They're thinking that he's going to not only be the starter for week one, he's going to be the starter for a while. So, I mean, and that's something I really didn't expect.
I'll get with the Brad's question here. He said, I don't understand why ESPN and Fox are picking the Squealers to win, because they're the freaking Squealers. That's why. Because they still don't respect the Bengals.
No, never
What's
will.
Up, Holmes? What's going on, man? But yeah, they don't respect the Bengals. I mean, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing Mike Hill kept saying. Like, everybody kept saying last year's a fluke. Well, it's not a fluke. Mm-hmm. It's still, and I'm trying to start this. Last year we had the hashtag "Why not us?" Then it is us. I like the hashtag "It's still us."
It's still us.
We are the AFC North champions. We are the AFC champions. It's still us till somebody comes and knocks us down. And I don't see that. I don't think that's going to happen this year. But again, just like always, nobody gives the Bengals credit. We have to go and we have to take it. And I think that starts this Sunday.
Yeah. And to your point, Jeff, about how, even though like we are clearly the better team and in every aspect, Brad mentions why do they for some reason doubt the Bengals. For some odd reason, I mean, if you look at not only the standings in the AFC North, the standings across the AFC, the Kansas City Chiefs took a step back. The Bengals beat them twice last year, and they still take a step back, and yet they're still the majority of the national media is picking Kansas City to win the AFC and go back.
Right, when they have a less of a team, they don't have their wide receiver that they had last year.
Right, and then the next one up is the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Buffalo Bills are also very good. However, they have shown time and time again that they can't win when it matters the most. I mean, they had to stop Patrick Mahomes with 13 seconds left. They couldn't do it. The Bengals had to stop Patrick Mahomes an entire second half and then in an overtime twice in a year, and they were able to do that. And they don't lose anybody. Their defensive coordinator comes back. They get a better offensive line. I don't understand where this national narrative is going to keep coming from. And it's going to eventually end when the Bengals are hoisting the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the year. And, I will be called a biased fan, and that's fine by me. And I don't care about that. But my actual genuine prediction is that the Bengals win the Super Bowl. I genuinely believe the Bengals are going to win.
I'm planning on getting a tattoo of it. So it's just like Tiger's Talk here says. It says, I love it. Keep doubting them. It fuels them. Exactly. That's what the whole thing was last year. Keep doubting them. All right. We did it last year. We went to the Super Bowl. You thought it was a fluke? Okay, cool. Keep talking. I'm with you, Tiger's Talk. I'm with you there. Like, keep talking. Go ahead. Keep doubting us. Come on. Because like I said, last year, year before that, keep doubting us. I'll be right here to prove you guys wrong again, because they're going to, and they're going to win the Super Bowl, and I'm going to get this freaking tattoo right here.
It's going to be, and it's going to be so great. And you know what's going to be probably what I see happening, as I do think it's going to be a Rams-Bengals rematch. I do think. Now, here's the question that I'm going to ask you.
Yeah. When
are we going to go from one of the more beloved teams? Because I do believe that a lot of people were on Cincinnati last year, and like they were like the Cinderella run. It was a lot like when the Chiefs first went to the Super Bowl and won their first Super Bowl in ever. I believe ever. And so now, but then the Chiefs started to go from beloveds to hated. Because they stayed there.
I mean,
so when is that going to happen? When can we be the enemy? Because I'm excited for it.
I think we have to win multiple Super Bowls, or at least go to it a couple of times. We've only had one successful season. We have to have multiple, I think, successful seasons. And then, because trust me, I put out something. I don't even remember what it was on Twitter. Something about how Joe Burrow is going to take all his stats versus the AFC. Mm-hmm. And the Browns fan came after me like, oh, well, you haven't beat the Browns yet. He hasn't beat the Browns yet. I'm like, whatever, get the hell out of here. That's
like, you never needed to.
Right, exactly. Right. And then I had other fans going, oh my goodness, Bengals Houday Nation has started to become, all big and boisterous. You won 1 year. I'm like, dude, we lost for how long?
Yeah, right.
Let me
Of course
enjoy it. So, I mean, it's already kind of starting to go that way with certain stuff that I'm tweeting out, which I just try to be positive and support my team, but it's starting to. So I think once we win multiple Super Bowls, because we're going to win multiple Lombardis, I think Zach Taylor's going to bring it home. Jackpot's going to bring it home. Chase T, all these guys, that's when it's about to happen.
Yeah, right. So once we get that first ring in there, then we're going to start being hated on. And I totally get that. So I'm just waiting for that moment to specifically start happening. I know you got a paid comment here, so let's go ahead and get to that.
Exactly. All right. Dusty Croft, thanks for the $5 super chat. Despite having Collins and Watt, we should still send a running back to chip him or double him with a tight end. He still can wreck a game, so we need to be cognizant of that. Easy for me to say. Yes, no, I agree with that. I think, if you look, did TJ Watt, when was the last time TJ Watt really wrecked a game versus the Bengals in the last couple of years?
It was before last year.
I can't. Right. Even when we beat him in the Monday night game in 2020, I don't remember him wrecking it. So whatever the Bengals have been doing, I think it's been working. So I think that I have to go back and watch game tape and remember what the heck they've done. But they probably have been chipping. And that was with our crappy offensive line. Now we got even better one. We got LC. So I agree with you, Dustin. I think you got to do that, and I definitely think they're going to have something there for him. But right now, like I said, in Zach I trust, in Lou I trust, and everything that these guys, Brian Callahan, everything these guys have been doing, has worked. So I think we got something for him.
Yeah, and to Dustin's point, it's guys like that. What you want to do is you want to neutralize as much of their impact on the game as possible. So that could mean putting a running back down there to chip block him. And that's where, a couple of our backup running backs are going to come into play. That's where Joe Mixon, we're going to really see if he actually did take a step forward in his pass blocking or not, because that's going to be a big thing. If Joe Mixon can stay out there when he's pass blocking and not just going on a passing route, that could really open up the playbook, because defenses aren't going to be able to key in, okay, Joe's not in, so it's probably going to be a pass. So we could really start to open this playbook up. But
dude, that's exactly what I said last, not this past Monday we weren't on, but the Monday before that when Cap was on with me. I said, with this offensive line and the weapons we have, Zach will have every page of his playbook open. I don't think there's one daggone thing he can't call. As long as the offensive line is playing like we think it's going to. And I'm not saying game one. I think they're going to have to work their way into it, but week 3, week 4, week 5, I think it's on. I think Zach Taylor has got something for, because I've seen some pretty cool looking plays. I'll just put it that way. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, because I don't, want anybody, not that anybody's watching my show to get, tidbits of information, but I know the Bengals have not wanted me to send out videos and stuff from the bridge too much with their different stuff, but I've seen some pretty cool plays out here that they've got in the books, and I'm excited as hell for it, because I can't wait. And I said this a million times on here, I don't think Zach Taylor gets enough credit for coaching around that offensive line last year, because everybody kept saying, "Oh, it's play calls." And yes, there are times that Zach's human. He's going to make mistakes. I understand, but not all of it.
Payron running it on 3rd and 2, Eddie Aaron Donald in the Super Bowl, the final drive of the game. That one,
Yeah, anyway, I'm talking about more like during the regular season when people were talking about, open up the playbook and so there's so many things.
You and I had like half-hour-long arguments over that.
He couldn't do that because of the freaking offensive line. So anyway, I think it's going to be completely open this year, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get to Kenny's here. He's talking about, get back to the hate. When people started hating the Chiefs, he said they started hating on the Chiefs with that adorable couple, the Patrick family. That's what I think, because his brother is a TikTok thing.
His brother. I hope he keeps doing it. I'll tell you this: everybody that hates on Jackson Mahomes, and rightfully so, but every time that he has done it, they have lost. I hope he keeps doing it. I hope it continues to be a distraction.
It's kind of like Juju Smith, right?
Yeah, right. If it is still there and it is still able. So what I've heard, I don't know if it's true or not. What I've heard is that Jackson and his wife are banned from going to games. I don't know if that's true. Probably not. Probably not. But if Jackson keeps making TikToks and continually continuing to be a distraction, that's good for the Bengals because the Chiefs just are going to keep feeding into that. They're going to start, losing games. Every time Jackson Mahomes has done a TikTok, they have lost the game. So let's keep that going. Let's go.
Rolling.
Yeah, Jackson. Yeah, there's going to be a great spot for you to do a TikTok at Paycor Stadium. We'll set it all up. We'll make sure it's in front of everybody. And then we'll just hand the ball off to Joe Mixon as he runs for 205 yards and 4 touchdowns.
There you go.
That is fine with me. So that's one thing I want to talk about. So, while Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are two generational talents, I do genuinely believe, and I get a lot of, not hate, but I get a lot of blowback when I say this, but I do believe it genuinely. T. Higgins is better now than AJ Green ever was. Even
T is about to ball out, dude. T is about to have his best year. I got a feeling. I just do. Go ahead.
Right, exactly. So, but while those wide receivers are just going to have incredible seasons, I do think we're going to see a majority of this offense come from the ground. I think Joe Mixon's production this year is going to be absolutely incredible. If he can get 1,100 yards last year, where he, had to basically start his run in the backfield and get hit immediately in the backfield. Imagine what he can do when he's got a pulling guard or a pulling tackle in La'el Collins, who's been touted as one of the best pulling linemen in all of the league. So having that out there, I think Joe Mixon is going to rush for well over 1,200 yards, and we're going to see a lot come from him. He might even win. He might even win offensive MVP, because I do think a majority of a lot of our production is going to come from the ground.
All right, let's get to Dustin here's comment about Mixon. He said Mixon not being able to be in there on third down should be a sign to upcoming running backs that blocking is one of the most important skills sets, and you will need that as a running back. Now, to that point, that's why I think Samaje Perine has a job, to be honest. Because I think we all would like Chris Evans to be that number 2 running back, but you got Mixon, who isn't that great at blocking. You got Chris Evans, who isn't that great at blocking. They're both getting better, but Samaje is actually really good at it. That's the reason that he's in. I won't say the only reason he's in the league, but it's a really good reason why he's on. It's a big reason.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it is a big reason that Samaje Perine is at least able to block. But here is the thing about that, though. Samaje Perine isn't an incredible pass blocker. He still misses a lot of passes.
He's the best out of 3 we got.
He's the best out of the 3 we got. I agree with that. So then that does mean that is one area that the Bengals really need to get better at, is blocking, pass blocking from the running back. But also with this better offensive line, I mean, we tried to do it last year a lot. We're going to go five wide a lot, especially with a target like Hayden Hurst, which while we all love CJ Uzomah, Hayden Hurst is a better player than CJ. He is. He's a better player. He's got more receptions. He can stay on the field, and he's more of a red zone threat. He always has been. So having him there too, as your 4th guy, as your 4th target, I mean, that's going to be pretty damn good. And then, I mean, you could put Chris Evans out there, a guy that we know can really have an impact on games, which I would love to see him more at the kick return position too, because I think Chris Evans is going to be a really good kick returner if he can stay out there and stay healthy. Exactly.
And I'm a big Hayden Hurst fan. I think he's going to be a huge red zone fan. But I want to give another shout out to my boy Matt from Bengals and Bourbon. He tweeted this out, and they're going to be giving this helmet away. They did a raffle. They had $30 a spot, total of 100 spots. They're going to be donating $3,000. All of it, all $3,000 are going directly to the Hayden Hurst Foundation. So I think shout out to them. Shout out to Houday Nation, all the Bengals. And the thing is, last time I talked to Matt about it, he was saying that people are still donating $30 directly to the Hayden Hurst Fund. So I think that is awesome about this fan base. I know we do a lot of charity, different stuff here. I know Bomb Squad does, Bengal Gym. We do stuff with the Joe Burrow Hunger Relief Fund. So I think this is cool that, he did it for the Hayden Hurst Foundation, because Hayden's new, and we're bringing him into the fold. And that's what we do here at Houday Nation. We're family, and that's what I love about it. I always want to give that another shout out to Matt, because I really did appreciate that. But getting back to Hayden Hurst, I'm excited as hell about seeing him this year. And I agree with you. I think he is an upgrade as far as a red zone target, receiving, running routes, stuff like that. I don't think he's as good a blocker as CJ, but I that's going to nullify itself, because he's going to be such a big red zone target for us. I think that's going to help us, because I think it was John Sheeran who was on the show, I think Friday, and was talking about how the Bengals lacked in red zone production. We get down there, but we couldn't score. And I think that's where Hayden Hurst is really going to make his mark this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, Strawberry, from what I remember last year, that was one of our biggest gripes with this team is that they do always get down to the red zone and they have to always end up settling for 3. And championship teams don't do that. I'll give you a perfect example. The Bengals pick off Matt Stafford to start the third quarter or after they just scored a touchdown, not to start the third quarter. I think it was like mid third quarter.
Right.
They score a touchdown there. The game is over. That's it. If the Bengals score a touchdown there and they're at the 35-yard line with this amazing offense that we keep talking about, how good this offense is, we still struggle with short yardage situations.
Right. Yeah.
But like you said, having that big target, having Hayden Hurst there, having a better offensive line is going to really push these numbers up. So the fact, and now I'm going to tie it all the way back into the original thought, the fact that Fox, ESPN is still not even looking at the Bengals as contenders to win the AFC. I mean, it's asinine. It's asinine.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. I agree with you. Hey, Todd. Hey, I'm excited to come meet you. Come down to the Jackpot Joey tailgate. We're not going to be in Longworth Hall this year. We're going to be down underneath the banks, underneath the Moorline House. So we're going to be down there in the parking garage. So that's come down and check it out. You say you're driving 200 miles. Holy crap. That's a long drive. So definitely make sure you stop by. I tweeted out where the spot is. If you know where the Moorline House is, go right underneath in the parking garage, and that's where we'll be there. Where we'll be at. All right, Richard. I would love to have a black and white helmet. Who day? I would too. I don't know how to get one, but I would love to.
I'd love one.
And he goes, do you think Juju would start dancing back on logos?
I hope he does, man.
Yeah,
I hope he does.
I hope he does. And one thing I want to say is like somebody, I can't remember, and I apologize, I can't remember who put this out on Twitter. We were talking about the change, when the things changed for the Bengals this year. Or not this year, but when everything turned around for Zach Taylor and this team. I still say it's Von Bell and that knockout hit on Monday Night Football on Juju Smith. I think once that happened, they were just like, F you, this is over. We're not losing anymore. Things are changing. And ever since that hit, everything's changed. I think a lot of stuff started going the Bengals' way. And that's, to me, I think that, and it's kind of interesting. That to me, that's a defying moment of like, you can say, all right, when do you think things change for the Bengals? Right there. That's what I think things change for the Bengals.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the biggest things from that game that I still remember is the fact that team is still playing for Zach Taylor. They were still playing hard. They were still playing to win, and they were well out of the playoffs by that time. Well out of the playoffs. But they're still playing for the vision. They're still playing for the culture to set the tone for the next years to come. Because then right after that, they not only did they beat the Steelers twice, they whooped them around, man. And they 40. They dropped 40 pieces on them. They've dropped a 40 piece on them. And then at Pittsburgh, they made I think it was Mike Hilton that said this. It may have been Tyler Boyd actually that said this. The Bengals made the Steelers quit, and they made them quit twice.
Yes.
Made them
Tyler Boyd said it. He said he quit twice.
They quit twice, and
he's
did.
A Pittsburgh dude, and he said it to him.
He said, I've never seen the Steelers quit, and they did, and the Steelers quit. If you can keep doing that and keep beating them back down into the basement and keep on keeping on with that. I mean, sky's the limit for this team. I don't know who's going to stop in the AFC North. We haven't even talked about Baltimore yet, but Baltimore right now, they have issues. They don't even have a quarterback under contract.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like we're just like acting like that's not a thing.
Well, that's the thing.
He's not under contract.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried. I mean, I'm not forgetting about Baltimore. I'm not thinking about the Rappers. We got Steelers week. But yeah, I mean, I think the division to me is going to come down to us in Baltimore. I really do. I mean, these people who I can't believe on Good Morning Football, we had one person pick us to win the AFC North, and that was Peter. He's the only one that picked us.
Oh my God,
I mean, and legitimately, I can't remember the other guy's name. I can't remember. He picked the Squealers. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? How are you going to pick the Squealers to win? I just don't get it. I don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, hell, nobody picked the Bengals last year.
Yeah.
But me and us. I did.
Yeah,
I picked us to win it. So, but not, toot my horn, two goals, one in a row. But
hey, man, keep it going.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that it can't happen. But I just don't see it, dude. Talent-wise, go down the line of talent the Bengals have compared to every team in the AFC North, including the Browns, because they're not gonna have a quarterback for the first half of the season.
Right.
So talent-wise, on paper, and that's all you had to base this by is on paper. How in the hell are you not picking the Bengals?
It just goes back to the fact that you're not going to get the respect at all until you go out and win a ring. And to a point, I understand that. But when you look at just top to bottom, if you're just going by the paper, the Bengals are the best team in the AFC North. If you're going by how they looked on the field last year compared to all the other teams last year, the Bengals are the better team on the field. If you look at their draft position, what they needed in the draft and what they got, you look top to bottom, the Bengals are still the best team in the AFC North. So in order just to pick anybody else would make any sense. And then plus you bring up the Browns. The Browns are the team that's even close to them. And Jacoby Brissett's going to be, and they still got worse.
Right.
And now they don't have a quarterback until week 11. And then on top of that, we don't know how Deshaun Watson is going to be in the AFC North in the first place.
Right.
Because he has just played in one of the worst divisions in football his entire career. And then also on top of that, he's played inside of a dome for at the least 8 games every single year. And then also during those years, he's had years where he has struggled. And I don't know how he's going to be against the hardest hitting, nastiest football division in the league. I don't know how he's going to be. And everybody's saying that he's going to immediately come out and be a star. I don't know about that, man. I don't know.
I think he hasn't played by that time, it would be a year and a half since he played football. Mm-hmm. And I just saw Watson quarterback wise. I think he's a good quarterback. I do think he will be good, but
we're talking strictly quarterback.
Yeah, strictly quarterback. I'm not talking about the other stuff.
We're talking strictly quarterback. Gotta preface everything.
Strictly quarterback.
Everything.
Strictly
quarterback.
He hasn't played in a year and a half. So who the hell knows what they're going to have?
Exactly.
And they've got worse. Their wide receiver. Who the hell is he going to throw the ball to?
Right, exactly. You got Amari Cooper,
is the only one that
that's it.
Legitimately got. That's it.
Right, and Amari Cooper was wide receiver too when he was with the Cowboys because once they got CeeDee Lamb, it was CeeDee Lamb won, and then it was Amari Cooper. So now your number one quarterback is, or excuse me, your number one wide receiver was the number 2 on another team. Mm-hmm. For us, our number 2 wide receiver would probably be number 1 on most NFL teams.
Dude, yeah, and that's
probably every year.
I want to bring that up too. Somebody tweeted this out again. I wish I could remember who tweeted all this stuff out. But somebody tweeted out that Jamar Chase should be or is on his verge of becoming the best wide receiver in the NFL. I said on the verge. I mean, he's already there. Yeah. I mean, do you guys remember the Super Bowl? Jalen Ramsey, who's supposed to be the best cornerback in football, T smoked him and Jamar smoked him. They both smoked him. So I think we got cigarettes. Jamar's already the best wide receiver, I think, in the NFL. And T is not too far behind him. Dude, I'm telling you, T. Higgins is going to moss out this year. He's mossing people all over the practice field. He is going to have a monster year. And I don't want to get into this too much or I'll start tearing up. But with the loss of his dad, I think he's going to be even more motivated than he was before. Yep. To I don't know if he's going to dedicate the season to his dad. I don't know any of that stuff. I'm just saying, I think that's going to motivate him even more. So he's got every reason to play. He's got a contract. He's got all this other stuff in the background. T is going to blow up this year. I'm just telling you.
Right, absolutely. And you talk about contracts with the team, and obviously that has been kind of a little bit of a touchy subject with the Bengals this year, obviously with Jesse Bates. That's another reason that you want to take a look at who's going to really outperform this year what they compared to last year. Jesse Bates last year was, during the regular season, was average. He was average. He wasn't some impact player. He was just kind of there. Obviously in the playoffs, he turned it on, and we all know how good Jesse Bates can be. We all know that he can. Well, now his contract is out. Now he's playing for a contract. He's playing for, to put food on the table for his family. And obviously somebody's going to sign him. Hopefully it's us. Hopefully we can figure that out. But probably not going to happen. So that's another guy that you're going to see really elevate his game. I don't think Jesse Bates is going to take a step back. I think he's going to take 2 steps forward because now he's playing to get a new contract, which he definitely will. But now, and also on top of that, this is Jesse Bates. This is probably his closest he's ever going to be to a ring before the season starts on any team that he'll ever be on. And that goes saying for a lot of guys too. So, I mean, I really think Jesse Bates is really going to turn it on this year.
I think Jesse Bates I don't know. I don't know if he's going to get off to a quick start though, because I hope he takes whatever attitude he had in the playoffs, whatever that attitude was. I hope he does that in the regular season, because the regular season it seemed like he was holding back a little bit. In the playoffs, he didn't hold back at all. And if Jesse, look at me, Jesse, if you're watching my show, and I know all the Bengals watch my show, if you want to get that bag of money and you want to be the highest paid safety in the league, you got to play like you did in the playoffs. You play like that, Godspeed. You're not going to be on the Bengals team because they're not going to pay you enough to keep you, because we got Joe and we got T and all that stuff. But if that's what you want, and I want that for you, because I want you to play like that this year, because you're going to be here when we get this Lombardi. But if you play like that, dude, you're going to get that bag, and that's what Jesse's got to do. He's got to play like that.
Yeah, right. And because then on top of that, he's going to get his bag. He's going to get a ring. He's going to bring one to Cincinnati. He's going to be looked at as a hero, and he's going to ride off. And then all of a sudden, this breakaway between the two parties, the Cincinnati Bengals and Jesse Bates, it's not going to seem like it was a nasty breakup. It's going to seem like now he's riding off in the sunset. Right. He did what he was there during the bad times, brought it all the way up to the good times. One of the part he'll go into the Bengals Hall of Fame as one of the best when the Bengals eventually get one, because I do think they will eventually build one. Yeah, I think they'll eventually build one, but I do think that now, now this splitting of the ways isn't going to be as bad, and I do believe that he'll be there and he'll be looked at as one of the best Bengals of all time, and he really will. But I digress. I do think that this is going to be a big year for Jesse Bates. It's going to be a big year for a lot of guys. It really, really is. So then it goes back to who do we desperately need to have a big year that, doesn't have this motivation. So that goes back to Trey Hendrickson, Sam Hubbard. So now at this point, those guys have had their bag. They know where they're going to be. They need to step up and be the leaders of the game. Leaders of the team during the game. And then also on top of that, they need to be able to be as dominant, if not more, than they were last year. This defensive line is very, very scary. They have a chance to be really, really good, especially with the linebacking room behind them, which I do believe that this linebacking room is the best we've seen out of the Bengals in probably 2 decades. And I'm going back to Ray Maluga type of linebacking rooms, and those linebacking rooms were good. They aren't as good as this one.
Logan Wilson. Yep. I think Logan Wilson's going to be if he would have stayed healthy last year, he would have been all pro.
He's a Pro Bowler. Yeah,
I think without question, be a pro Bowler for sure this year. You said Akeem Davis-Gaither. I think this might be a breakout year for him.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be a big year for him.
And you got him and you got Pratt, dude. I will take them. I like, because it's amazing how quickly just the defense in general got better. When Zach got here, the year before he got here, and the year his first year here, we were historically bad. You realize that was just like 2 years ago. This is
14.
Yeah, this is the fourth year of Zach. So the year before he got here and his first year here, our defense was horrible. Since then, I think we have a top 5, top 10 defense, at least, especially. I keep going. You're talking about linebackers, and I love linebackers, but I'm talking about the secondary.
Secondary is great. Secondary is awesome.
Oh, it's going to be ridiculous, especially when we get Cam Taylor-Britt back. It's going to be awesome. But you're talking linebackers here. But I'm really impressed with the way we have upgraded our linebackers and how fast they did it. And it's all through the draft. And you don't hit, and for what the Bengals have done the last couple of years on the guys they've drafted, the guys they've signed, you don't hit on as many as the Bengals have. Not normally. The Bengals hit on damn near everybody. And that goes to the scouting department, that goes to Duke Tobin, that goes to Zach Taylor on getting the right guys in the building. And I just think Logan Wilson is going to have a breakout year this year. I think he might be the quote unquote star of the defense this year. Just my thoughts.
Right. Yeah. And I totally agree with that. Then I always go back to when people ask or say anything about the Bengals organization and how they draft. Excuse me, I just burped right into the microphone.
Dude, I've been doing it the whole time because I was drinking the Jackpot Joey beer, so I'm trying to not do that.
There you go. I bet it tastes just so delicious.
Honestly. Oh, it is. You have to come down to the tailgate there Sunday.
Oh,
before you go and do your Stripe Squad stuff, because I'll be there early, and then
I'll see what I can do. But
we'll be like right underneath Moline House. You can come under there. It'll be our little secret.
I
won't tell anybody, Josh.
There's some stuff about the Stripe Squad that I do need to talk about, but that's not going to be until late. I'm not going to be able to say anything now, but there's controversy. Anyway, I want to get back anyway. But I always go back to the fact that the Bengals drafted Marcus Bailey in the last round of a draft. The last round. He went out. He was making plays last year he was in the Super Bowl, and he was a consistent player who got consistent snaps. That was their last pick of the draft. How great does your draft have to be in order for your last player to get drafted, still continue to make plays 2 years into his 2 years in his tenure, and now coming up on 3 years, and Akeem Davis-Gaither is even better than Marcus Bailey. I mean,
Logan Wilson is better than Akeem Davis-Gaither.
And it keeps going and going.
Right.
One guy that I will never stop singing the praises of, because I was not a fan of Jermaine Pratt when he first started. I thought he was a bust. I thought, like, we're not going to be able to do anything with him. The strides that he has made since Zach Taylor has been here, and how much better he has gotten every single year in terms of tackling, assignment, being a general on the defense. He's just gotten far better, and that's a true testament to Zach Taylor and the organization in order to keep, like you said, just keep rotating and reloading and, improving these guys through the draft and getting them here, and then going out making great plays.
And we will always remember him as the guy who sealed the first playoff victory for the Bengals in 31 years.
And then the first away playoff win in history, and then the second one, winning the AFC champ. Now the Bengals are 3-0 in the AFC championship, which is hilarious.
Exactly,
that's actually really funny.
I would honestly rather be 3-0 in the Super Bowl, but whatever.
Hey,
I got a question.
They could have been.
What are you doing Saturday night?
What am I doing Saturday night?
Because my girl Hube is going to be down at the Holy Grail.
That is
watching our Bearcats. So
I
might have to stop down there. I'll see if I can. I got to talk to my wife so what I'm doing, but I would like to go down there and support my Bearcats, and hopefully they even up the season here at 1-1. Now we both are very frustrated with what happened with the Bearcats this weekend. They should have won.
Yes,
they could have won.
Yep.
They had every opportunity to win.
Yep,
but they snatched the victory from defeat.
They snatched. That was here's the problem with all this, and it's right, because once we start getting down to January and December and January football, and we're talking about who's in, who's out, and the Bearcats are not going to be out, or not going to be in the playoff contention, which sucks because of his first game. However, I do think that this team is really good. I think this is a solid team. You can see they play hard. They play physical. They seem like they know what they're doing when they're out there. They just have had so many mistakes. And then on top of that, I mean, just, God, false starts. I can't do it. False starts. You get it all. The game all came down to the first snap of the third quarter. Arkansas fumbles the ball on the 3-yard line. All you got to do is punch that in. You tie the football game, and it's a whole other game, and you can't do it. Not only they go backwards like 30 yards, go kick a field goal, and swing and a miss. And it's so frustrating because it feels like
it was there, dude. Josh, it was there. It was there.
No, they were the better. Yeah, they were the better team on the field.
I mean, if our quarterback, if he could have hit, all he had to do is he could have missed all the other passes he missed. If he hit 2 of them, the 2 that were in the end zone, if he hits those, we win. We win.
He's walking in. Yeah.
And our wide receivers smoked them. That we had 3 strides, 5 strides. They weren't even close, and he overthrew them, which is kind of hard to do. I mean, he's got a pretty good arm, I guess. But that's the part where I'm like, why? And I love Fickle. I love him. But why? This is the game. And I hate to say it's the first game of the year. It's the most important game of the year. But if you're going to try to go back to the college football playoffs, which I know that's what the Bearcats want to do, you need to win this game. And I don't think Ben Bryant gave us the best opportunity to win this game. I'm not saying Prater would have came in and been throwing darts. I don't know. I would have been at least worth a shot to at least start at the second half of the season, second half of the game, because that's exactly what he did when Desmond came in and took over against LSU how many years ago.
That's
you know,
UCLA.
against UCLA. Or against UCLA. Sorry, what did I say? LSU. UCLA.
Yeah, LSU. You got Brian Kelly on the brain.
I got Brian Kelly on the brain, and his family down there. But anyway, that's the part that drove me. That's the part that drove me nuts. I was like, this is such an important game. It's right now. It's the biggest game of the season, and we're gonna go win the rest of the games, and we're not gonna get any. I mean, yes, we might get a New Year's Six bowl, which I'm not trying to crap on that. That would be cool. No, I think that'd be awesome. Mm-hmm. But that's not what Luke Fickell. That's not what the Bearcats are trying to do. They're trying to get that college football players. They're trying to win this thing.
Right. So going to that point. So we talk about the quarterbacks, and we talk about Ben Bryant versus Evan Prater, and right. Like you said, I don't know if Evan Prater goes out there and immediately starts slinging darts. We're not saying that at all.
Right.
But I will say this. Ben Bryant is a much better passer than Evan Prater is. Not much better, but he's a better passer than Evan Prater is. If you watch the game, Arkansas was giving us nothing on the ground. We weren't able to punch through any sort of the line. But our passing game was really, really working good. Mm-hmm. And so in order to do that, you got to keep the quarterback that's throwing the ball in that rhythm. Now, was he missing a lot of passes? Yes. But did he also make a lot of great throws? He did. He made some really good throws. He made some really good plays. What kills me is that because he's the quarterback, all of his mistakes are going to be maximized times 1,000. Where they lost the game is going to come from the penalties and the mental mistakes.
They lost the game having the ball on the 3-yard line and going backwards. That's what
that was it. That was it.
You can't do that. And
then they get a good drive going, hold it, and get a good drive going, 2 false starts.
And for the love of God,
bless it.
Can we get a field goal kicker?
Can we get
for the love of God?
Do we not have anybody in Australia? Like we have the pipeline to the entire country,
we got
continent, whatever. There's nobody there that can make a freaking field goal. Go to our women's soccer team. I am telling you, somebody on the women's soccer team can make that. Suit her up and get her in the game. Suit her up because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
We legitimately have an NFL punter. He's gonna be in the NFL. He might not get
He's gonna be in the NFL.
He's gonna be in the NFL. He's gonna be punting for some team for many years to come.
Yes.
But how the hell can we not get a field goal kicker? What?
How do you not have a field goal kicker?
And that was Luke. And I love Luke Fickell, but that was one of his missions in life this year was to find a field goal kicker.
Yes,
and
that was.
You are 100%
correct. You are 100% correct when you said that one of his goals this year was to find a kicker, and he wasn't able to do that. Now, let's also go back to that chip shot field goal that he had that was like 10 yards out. If he would have known that, okay, we're not kicking a field goal the whole game, we probably go for it. And who knows, you go for a touchdown there. But now Luke Fickell can see that he's going to have to be more aggressive on 4th downs this year than he has been in the past.
Last year.
Or just like last year. Yeah, just like last year. My thing about Luke Fickell, and as much as I love him, and trust me, let's build the statue now.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm fine with it. But one thing with his teams that has always been a consistent, which boggles my mind because he's so disciplined, it feels like, with everything, the amount of pre-snap penalties that the offense continues to have from year to year, I struggle with understanding how that is even a thing. I'm surprised Luke Fickell doesn't have that on lock, but almost every single year there's a problem with pre-snap penalties, and it kills us. And you saw it right on Saturday.
Yeah, now I go with Dustin, and he says the Bearcats look pretty disorganized on Saturday as well. They just didn't have that same swagger either. Now, one thing I will put it to you this way is they lost a lot of players. Now the guys they replaced them with are talented too. But when you lose that many guys and that much experience, it is growing pains. But you can't have that many. I don't care. You can't have that many. You can't. It's like you said, like you just said, Josh. You can't have that many pre-snap penalties. You just sit there, wait till the ball's hiked. And, you move and the ball moves. I mean, whatever you got to do. I mean, to get that many false starts and holding penalties is just ridiculous. Good.
Well, I was going to say, so, Dustin, this one I'm going to disagree with you on. I don't think they looked disorganized. I don't think they looked like they definitely didn't look outmatched. They were the better team on the field.
No, they were not outmatched.
They played a better game than Arkansas did. Arkansas, they got the fumble. They scored on that, and then they only had 2 other drives. Other than that, defense held their own.
Dude, our defense.
And I got to give it up. And I got to give it up to Mike Tressel because last year, I mean, he didn't have to do anything. Our defensive coordinator, Mike Tressel, He didn't have to do anything last year. We had NFL talent all over the field. We didn't need to do anything. Just let him go out there and play ball. Now he's had to really mix some things up. Bearcats blitzed a lot, and I was very, very happy to see that because it looked like they were getting home. On the other side of that, looked like the offensive line played pretty decent, especially when your starting center, who is supposed to be the leader of the team, is now out for the year, which is a massive blow to the Bearcats. I think if he's there, the Bearcats do win the game. I mean, I think that's just an anchor that you can always rely on. But here, the thing is that here's the biggest problem with this. This is a great team. And this is going to be a really fun team too. I don't think they're going to lose the rest of the way. And I think they're going to do this year what they didn't do last year, which is blow out inferior talent, because I think they're going to be pissed off for the rest of the year after this game. Yeah. And they should be, because they should have won the game.
Right. And the thing is, if like Dustin's saying here, this is a pivot point, you can't be a one and done program. Well, if they go undefeated the rest of the season, I think that makes them a New Year's Six bowl contender. I mean, I do. And to me, that's not one and done. And that's where they were at, 2020, right? New Year's Six bowl against Georgia. And then they went to the playoffs. So that's where we have to at least stay, especially going into the Big 12 next year. And I don't know about you, but I cannot freaking wait to get the Big 12, because I'm tired of hearing about AAC and all this. We're going to be in the Big 12, and dude, who knows? By the time we get to Big 12, it might be an 18-team team. I have no. Or 18. It's going to be.
It's a 12-team playoff. I mean, at this point, it's just like anybody's going to be able to make it, which is all. I'm fine with it. More football for me. I'm good with it.
Well,
I've football, more of a chance for UC to get there.
Yeah. Well, people are like, oh, we can't play that many games. How the hell can you not? Because you end it in Thanksgiving, and then you don't really start playing until Christmas for the bowl games. You got 4 weeks. What are they? And they're not in class. So, like, what are you doing? We're going to play it at the highest ranked seeded team. Like,
and that's going to be so sick. And that's going to be sick. And that's going to be awesome. And that's exactly what they should do. They should have the first round of the playoffs at the home stadium of the higher seed, which would be the moments that are going to be made from just that is going to be insane. They're going to be incredible. And so, imagine. Clifton this year during the season was insane. Imagine what it's going to be like during a playoff game where if we win, we're going to the Final Four. Like, how sick is that?
That's going to be awesome.
Open it up. The only people that don't like it are the Blue Bloods, because then now all of a sudden there's more chances for them to lose.
They're all going in the same damn conference. So if there's only four, and that's going to screw. That's what I kept saying. They're all going into the SEC. Well, if it's only four, like you're screwing yourself. Now it's 12. Now they're like, well, there's going to be 12 teams from the SEC. It better not be 12 teams from the SEC. But the thing is, now, have you heard rumors? I heard the rumors about the Big 12, and we know UCLA and I think USC are going to Big 10. I think that's what it is.
That's hilarious.
It's crazy.
But I honestly think that's hilarious.
And the commissioner of the Big 12 has said the Big 12 is open for business. Now, I've heard something about some crazy thing that they might form the first 18-team conference, between the Big 12 and the teams in the Pac-12 and some other stuff. I can see this with 12 teams getting into the playoffs here. I can see this happening because, and the thing with this, I think if you have these big super conferences, I think more teams are going to play each other crossover for the conferences, because I think it's going to help them more in the long run. What's your thoughts on that?
So, real quick, but I do want to get to that point, but I want to go back to Dustin's original comment, because it's a great comment, and he's absolutely right. This is a pivotal time for the program to have repeat success. He's 100% correct on that, and you can't just be one and done. I think a lot of us Bearcat fans are feeling that same exact way. But we also have to look at one loss does not mean that the season is over. Right. I mean, look all across the landscape. How many teams go undefeated twice in a row? Never happens. Yeah, Alabama, that didn't happen. They lost last year. Ohio State lost last year.
We did.
What?
We did.
We did, except for us, because we're amazing.
Except for us.
Well, that was 9-12. What? Anyway.
They had 2 undefeated seasons.
That's true. That's right.
Bearcats had 2 undefeated regular seasons. So yes,
it's a good point. Okay, so now back to your thought, which was in the fact that when you look around at the major conferences, let's look at the SEC and the Big Ten. They're top heavy. That's their biggest issue. They're top heavy, and then the bottom feeders are not that good. And now teams are getting better. Arkansas obviously is a team that has gotten better, and they're getting a little bit better. But nobody's gonna Nobody's going to win the conference except for either Alabama or Georgia. No one's even close. Big Ten, same thing. It's Ohio State or Michigan. No one's even close. And I mean, especially when you have UC stealing recruits away from Michigan State. Jeff's got that dog in him, so it just sometimes lets out sometimes. So what the Big 12 is going to try to do is they're going to try to go for consistency across all teams, which might make it a better conference. Because if you look at the teams that are going into the Big 12 or that are already in the Big 12 that are going to stay there, you got Oklahoma State, Cincinnati, UCF, Houston, BYU. You got, and now, like you said, adding the Pac-12 teams, and then you got Oregon. You got Colorado. You got teams that are consistently good, consistently competing, playing good football. Iowa State's another Big 12 team that consistently plays good football. So you're going to see – so I do think that might be a trend that the Big 12 might go after. Like, okay, we can't get the top of the top if you can. But so instead, we're going to get all the other teams that are near the top, and we're just going to be a better conference than everybody else because they are going to be a better conference than everybody else because of the more teams.
Just look at the basketball conference in general.
Basketball, we're in the best conference
we're the best conference. Yeah, just look at that there. I mean, so that goes to show that I think it can be a good conference, top to bottom, football and basketball. Because just like you said, if you get consistent teams throughout and not just the top feeders and then the bottom feeders, that's going to help whoever comes out of that conference better to play against these teams, against the Blue Bloods or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Because they're going to have more of a lot. The teams coming out of these conferences are going to have more of a longevity. That's one of the reasons I was talking with my friend about who's going to be in the playoff picture this year for college football. And he mentioned USC. I said, well, one of the problems with USC is that, yeah, they may win out and win the Pac-12, but they don't have a longevity of a team that seems like that they are going to A, go the distance and not take 2 losses, but then B, go to the college football playoff and not get their ass whooped because that's exactly what's going to happen. So when you are playing good teams on a consistent basis, your team is going to get better. That's why UC is starting to schedule harder and harder talent at the beginning of the year because it makes their teams better at the end of the year. We saw that with the Bengals too. They played hard games at the beginning of the year. They took some losses, faced some adversity, and then they were a much better team at the end of the year. That's what football is all about. Football is a lot about facing adversity and dealing with it, and your team gets a lot better the more adversity you face. So I would love to see that happen. I really would.
Exactly, dude. I can't wait. I mean, the last couple of years here in Cincinnati, as far as football has gone, college football and NFL football has been unbelievable. And I just like to make sure everybody remember to enjoy it because this doesn't happen all the time. So enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Josh, you've been on for almost an hour. I appreciate you coming on. Tell everybody about Back Row Bengals, what you got going on, anything you want to plug before I let you go.
Absolutely, Iceman. Thank you so much. As always, you guys follow everything for Cincinnati Sports or Strawberry Ice. He's all over the place. Please go follow him. Go support him. Go buy his beer. Go hang out with him on Sunday. He is an absolute great hang. He's super fun. Gives great hugs. He really does. Gives great. It's like a big bear. But anyway, you can listen to me tomorrow. The Back Row Cincinnati Bengals show returns in podcast form tomorrow at 6:30. We will go live with the man, the myth, the legend, Strawberry Ice. It's going to be a lot of Bengals talk. Yeah, you, my guy. You, my guy. He's coming on at 6:30 right after his show. He's doing the double time because Strawberry Ice, he's got that dog in him. So we'll be back at 6:30. Then also on Thursday, 50 West Brewing, they're going to be having a big Bengals pregame pre-show with Mo Egger, James Rapine, Jay Morrison, Paul Danner Jr. I am also going to be there as a fan and as a connoisseur, and I can't wait to see all of you and as a lover of podcast radio. So please, when you go in, come up to me. Would love to see you. Shake your hand, talk some football, give you a big hug. I give good hugs too. But then also, push to have me on the Bengals booth because I would love to slide in when we have Josh from Back Row Bengals. Hey. Slide in with all the big wigs that, actually get paid to do this. So that would be fun. So anyway, that's where you can find me. Follow me on Twitter at Back Row Bengals. My name is Josh. Thank you so much for having me on. Ice, you are the best. Love you so much, brother. Appreciate it.
Later, dude. Who day?
Right. Who day?
All right, guys. Go follow Josh. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. Josh is a good buddy of mine. We have a lot of fun tailgating, and we have a lot of fun doing our podcast together. And just to let everybody know, tomorrow night, while he's at 50 West, I am going to be at Wild Mike Shady Lane, which will be after his show. I gotta hopefully get out of there. We're going to be tapping the keg for the Jackpot Joey beer at Wild Mike Shady Lane. I know we tweeted it out and stuff said it'd be Thursday. Well, we were wrong. It's going to be tomorrow night. So make sure you check that out. So go check us out tomorrow night at Wild Mike's. Go check out Josh and hear that podcast growling at 50 West on Thursday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come check me and Maddie Myers out at the Jackpot Joey tailgate. Like I said, I tweeted it out. It's going to be underneath the Moorline house, right in the parking garage there. So we kind of just decided we're going to kind of do our own thing this year. And you guys come check it out. We'll give you some of the beer. You can check it out and just come say hi. Like I said, you go check out Bomb Squad, go check out Bengals and Brews, go check out all the people at Longworth, go check out Bengal Gym, just go check out a whole bunch of tailgates. And you know what? Or just do your own tailgate and have some fun. Either way, it's tailgate season. It's Bengal season. It's a lot of fun. I cannot freaking wait. Let's get to the Facebook groups that let me live stream. And as always, I appreciate every single one of them. They are Who Dey Nation. By the way, go check out Who Dey Nation because I don't think I gave them a shout out. And a couple weeks ago, they got deleted. Like the whole group got deleted. 5 years of work, they got deleted. So make sure you guys go find Who Dey Nation. If you were a member of them before, go back there. Make sure you join the Facebook group again. I said my apologies to Josh and Tommy. These guys, I should have said this earlier on the show last week, but I didn't. I'm saying it now. So make sure you guys go check out Who Dey Nation again, the new one, to try and get back up. They had over like 10,000 people in it or something. It was ridiculous. So shout out to them. Shout out to Who Dey Legion, Bearcat Ruckus, the Ohio State Bucknuts, the Ice Bar. And then as always, you can follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Twitter handle is at Jeff A. Trunable. TikTok is at Iceman90. I'm thinking about changing my Twitter handle because I think Jeff Trunable is kind of hard. Maybe it might be Iceman or something. I don't know. But anyway, still Jeff A. Trunable. I'll be pulling the sound off later on tonight, putting on the podcast. BeanPod, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure you rate, like, and review. YouTubers, I'm at 1,875 subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Like I said, I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm trying. I want to get to 2,000 subscribers by Sunday. I've been saying this since February. I'm close. I get to 2,000. I will be giving away a 6-pack of this delicious Jackpot Joey beer. Shout out to Brink Brewery. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you. What you guys are doing with the Jackpot Joey beer. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. I will not be live tomorrow. I'm going to be recording a show with my man Ace Boogie, but it will be on at 5:30. It'll just be recorded just to let everybody know. And as always, other than that, say it with me, people. That's just sports, baby. See ya!